So well, this was interesting because you and I talked about this previously, and you said that there was a certain amount of animosity because you really thought your father should pay for it, and yet you were forced to do that. And we got to talk about what you did to make that happen. That was it's an amazing story. But you've gotten past that, and that was part of your story. That's part of what makes you who you are. And I think your dad did a good thing for you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So let's talk about you became an entrepreneur just so you can go to university in the Ukraine, right?
Yes.
This is crazy because here she's in the Ukraine and she gets involved in an American company in the Ukraine, yes?
Yes.
And you were telling me that the average income was $100 a month or
yes.
a week? Is it a month?
A month.
A month. And you started a company with $500. Talk about that.
Yeah, I started my first company was $500.
And you need to tell the name of the company because we actually know this in the United States.
Yeah, the company was called Mary Kay Cosmetics. They were not even officially in the country yet at that moment.
So you illegally brought it into the country?
I was one of those people, yes, that
okay,
started the whole Mary Kay movement.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I felt like this was like the first cosmetic line that entered Ukraine at that time that was outside of the country. And a lot of women didn't have access to this. And when I came across the products, I said, oh my God, this is too good to be a secret. So I felt like I had to bring this beauty products to Ukrainian women. So I started my business with $500 in my pocket. Actually, that was not even my money. I went to my dad. He said, no, you'll figure out a way. So I went to some friends, and my friends gave me the money. I got on a train to Moscow, and I purchased first order, $500 in...
When the average income is $100 a month.
Yes.
This is amazing. So obviously you went on to sell lots and lots of Mary Kay. I mean, I know you don't do Mary Kay now, but it's a great story. And you were telling me that you got to a point where you're beginning to purchase $15,000 at a time.
Yes, in my pocket, $15,000 in cash, getting on a train, risking my life actually, because that was very, from security point of view, that was very dangerous for me to carry that much cash. As you can imagine, the average salary $100 a month. So going to Moscow with this much cash, buying the products there, and then hiding everything on the train so nobody would find.
Was it still illegal to have Mary Kay in the Ukraine?
Well, Mary Kay was just like moving into the country at that time, but still the supply was very, very limited. So I had to go and get it.
I guess obviously I'm not a female, but I guess makeup must have been like gold.
Yes.
for women.
Yes.
Okay, so this is an amazing story. So you were becoming an entrepreneur. Then, obviously you're going to university. You graduated. You got in a corporate job. If I remember correctly, I want to get this kind of quickly here because we just have a few minutes left. You ended up working about 3 years. Is that correct? In a corporate job, and then you applied to come over to America.
I worked for about 6 years back in Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started from being an assistant, and at the end of my corporate career in Ukraine, I was a director of operations for one of the largest companies coming from Egypt. So I was heading their operations in Ukraine, and I was traveling around the world to do the business for the company.
But then you eventually applied to actually come over to the United States, is that right?
What I learned, when I was 18, I had a dream to go to United States. I met some Americans, and I really got inspired by the culture, by the opportunities and possibilities. And my dad always encouraged me because he traveled the world, and he said, you will fit so well in the United States. So when I was 18, I had a dream to come to the United States. And when it became possible, I said, this is my chance. So I got a contract from a company, US-based company, and I was able to come here 9 years ago. So,
okay, to just kind of fast forward here a little bit, because we're out of time. You, at some point, you went through a divorce.
Yes.
You have a son.
Yes.
And that affected you, and you got involved in personal development, spent a lot of money, and it's really made an impact on your life, and not just on a personal level, but the ability to actually help other people. And these are the things that have really empowered you to take you to a whole nother level in your life. And but because of the sake of time, we've got to kind of wrap this thing up. You are definitely majorly successful, and I've watched you. I've gotten to know you now, and we're kind of connected to some of the same people, and that's kind of how we actually got drawn to each other. You've got the dream. It's inside of you. It's big time. There's no question about it. What would you want to say to someone who's watching this video and help them to no matter what's going on in their life, because you've seen it all. You've had the success and being raised in success. You've seen the loss of all of it. You've seen yourself come out of it. You've gone corporate. You got married. You've gone through a divorce. Here you are, a mother, a young son, and you're an entrepreneur. And you just are one of those people that it's like, I got to hang on to your coattail to hang on, just to even try to keep up with you. So help us to understand why in just like a couple of sentences.
If I have to say in a couple sentences, I'll say never lose your dream. I always had a dream, and I always knew that things are possible to make them happen. And if you have that vision, I absolutely can reassure you, you can achieve it. You just have to try, and you have to commit yourself to that journey and take actions every day, and it's all coming together.
Tatyana, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on your show.